Hi everyone, I'm going to show you how to make the first project of the year for our Make theme. We're going to be making these journals that you can use throughout the year to record your ideas. And we're going to be doing a simple sewn binding. We have some supplies here. The first thing we're going to be using is special paper. This is a sheet of A4 cardstock that we'll use for the cover. And this is A3 paper stock that we'll use for the inner sheets. What's special about this paper is its proportions. It's designed with an aspect ratio of √2, and what that means in practical terms is that you can fold it in half and it has the same proportions as it did when it was a larger sheet. So the size of the journals that we're going to be making are A5 size, which means they're about this big. So let me show you all the supplies you'll need. First, you need your cardstock for the cover, and you need your paper for the inside. You also need a length of string. It's approximately 2 feet long. We have these boards to help you measure. So pull the string out to the end of the board, grab some scissors, and cut. You will then need a needle, some beeswax, a thumbtack, and a piece of cardboard or something to put underneath it when you're poking the thumbtack through, and scissors. So the first thing we're going to do is prepare the paper. I'm going to start by taking my cover stock and folding it in half as neatly as I can, and then I'm going to crease the edge. If you were a proper bookmaker, you'd have a bone tool, but I'm just going to use the handle of the scissors. You can use the the barrel of a pen or something, anything kind of smooth and hard to give it a nice firm crease. Now with the paper, I'm going to have to fold it twice. Once and again. Actually, I forgot to, I'm going to crease it at each fold to help it come out more regular. Next thing I'm going to do is prepare the string by waxing it. So it's pretty simple. You just take a piece of beeswax, take the string, pinch the string between your thumb and the wax, and pull it through a few times. This is to make the string more resilient and less likely to damage the paper. It also makes it easier to thread in the needle. Okay. Now that I have my needle and my thread prepared, I'm going to make the holes in the spine that I'm going to stitch through. So I'm going to line up the paper inside the cover. I'm going to put it on top of this piece of cardboard. I'm going to grab my thumbtack. The first hole should be approximately in the middle of the spine here. You can eyeball it. It doesn't have to be exact. Unless you're extremely fastidious and you want it to be, then you can get a ruler and measure it. So one hole there, and then I'm going to put one hole at either end, about a ½ inch from the edge of the paper. Okay, now it's time to thread my needle. Okay, I'm just going to fold over just a few inches, not very much, and leave most of the length out straight. Now you have a decision to make based on how you want your finished book to look. If you want to have a knot on the outside that's decorative, you should start putting in the needle from the outside. I'll show you some examples. This book has decorative threads on the outside. This one has almost no knot. I mean, it has a knot, but almost no threads left, little tails on the inside. This one looks a little bit perhaps neater. This one looks a little more flamboyant. Choose what you like. I'm going to put my knot on the outside. So I hold it so that the outside of the book is up, and I put my needle through the pages. You might have to kind of separate them to find where you made the hole. Get the needle through. Okay. Pull it through. And when you get it through, you want to leave a little bit of a tail of a few inches on the outside. Okay? I don't know if you can see it. It's out to about here. Okay. Now, Next, you're going to go through one of the end holes. It doesn't matter which one you go through first. When you pull the thread through, try and pull it kind of snug. It doesn't have to be super tight. I flipped the book over. You can see there's the one stitch on the inside. Now I'm going to go to the outside. Put it through the next set of holes. And again, pull snug. So I have a long thread along the outside binding here now. Hope you can see that. Lastly, I'm going to go back through the center hole where I started. Now, both the tails are on the same side, outside. I'm going to tie them off, but before I do, I want to make sure that they're straddling the long stitch that goes along the spine. And I'm going to give them a gentle tug to sort of cinch everything in tight. Now I'm going to tie a square knot. My book is almost done. You can leave those threads long or you can trim them if you want a different look. The last thing you have to do is cut the sheets to make this a book. Now this edge where there's a fold is obviously, you can't trim pages. You can use a scissors, you can use a knife, you can use a letter opener. If you use something like a letter opener, it might have a little bit more of a jagged edge, like a decal edge book. That's an aesthetic choice you can make. Or I'll just use scissors, because that's what I have right here. If you kind of straighten the book out, it's easier to put the scissors through. Other side here. All right, lastly, we've purchased some little pockets. This is an old library card pocket. For those of you old enough to remember the days when library books had pockets instead of barcodes, this will be familiar. And here's a little coin envelope. Both of these can be glued in to your book wherever you choose. That part's pretty straightforward. I'll show you. This person chose to glue one in the front, one in the back. This person chose to glue them on the same page. Whatever you like, it's up to you. And then the last thing you're going to do, oh, by the way, we have rubber cement here. You may have glue sticks in front of you, depending on the supplies. Just be careful when you glue them in, not to glue them, not to shut your book on wet glue so that it's stuck shut. The last thing you have to do is decorate, and that's up to you. People used markers, they did some simple kind of collage, whatever you like.